This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz. Very excited to be speaking with Skye Marshall about Matlock. How are you, Skye?
I'm besides myself. I'm on the ride of my life.
What was your relationship like, if anything, with the original Matlock series?
I was just a kid roaming around the house, hearing it in the background. I did not watch it, but then when I saw that CBS was doing Matlock and I wanted to audition for Olympia, I immediately just ran to the internet and started watching some episodes. And then when I got the script, I was like, wait a minute, this ain't the same. Oh, this is going to be fun. And that's when I really got addicted to my pursuit of obtaining an audition for Olympia.
Well, I guess the first question is, how does the original hold up? Like, is it still a good show?
The original is a great show. It stands on alone though. It's has completely different themes, beats, pace. It feels like a different genre based off of what we were able to create in season one. But I love that we have it to be able to like pay homage. And it was like a nice little trap to get everybody in who loved the original Matlock or were just interested because of their familiarity of the original Matlock. And then they were like, oh, wait, whoa, wait, hold up. And by the time they figured out that this is a completely different type of show, we already got them.
Well, what attracted you so much to Olympia as a character?
Oh my gosh. I physically had a reaction when I read the script and I started to read Olympia's lines. Like I felt it in my stomach. Like I was just like, oh no. And that's very rare. Like I felt like I knew I was about to build a shrine around this character and like pray to every god that exists that I would just get an opportunity because I knew that they were probably going to go to, names and people that had bigger resumes and stronger credits and popularity than I did. But I just the her gumption, her force, her tenacity, her drive, like she reminds me so much of myself and the version of myself I've always wanted to be. And the character as I'm reading it was just giving herself permission to be messy in a suit and to be safe in her glass office while still being very intentional on who she represents. And she knew that she could bring the money in, but she was very crystal clear on the type of clientele she wanted um, to represent. And that I hadn't seen in a legal drama, especially the ones that I loved. I hadn't seen that specifically. And it didn't dawn on me until, we each episode, I'm like, oh, another another brown guest star. Oh, another black guest star. Oh, another wait. I thought she charged $1,200 an hour. Like, okay, this is what we're doing. Because we don't know what lies ahead. We know one script at a time. And so as I started to learn and create who Olympia, was going to be, I started really paying attention to um, the people that she took in who needed her for justice. And that's what made me really fall in love with the character of like, she's intentional. She wasn't just doing it for the money. She wasn't just doing it for the suits and the bag and the brownstone. She was living on purpose. She was purpose driven. And I also was very specific about wanting to make myself available to roles that move the culture forward. That was important to me. And everything about Olympia does just that.
Do you feel that you need to have any sort of knowledge of the legal system, or that the show has given you a knowledge of the legal system in order to play this part?
I mean, I feel like I can represent my family in court now. I was just like, girl, traffic ticket. I got you. What time do we have to be at the hearing? She's like, there's no hearing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's no fun, is it? But no, it's toxic. The amount of unsolicited legal advice I am now giving to friends and family. I should probably stop, but it took a few months to get Olympia out of my system. But the beauty about choosing and having the privilege of playing a character like a procedural is that if you're really focused and due diligent, you can become just as smart as the character that you're playing. And so like when I played a doctor, I didn't know what catecholaminergic polymorphic ventricular tachycardia is, but now I do. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, why do I know this now? And so there are moments where I have an addiction of like late at night of murder mysteries. And I'm just like, she did it. And my husband's like, you don't know, you're actually not a lawyer. And I'm like, if you look at the evidentiary support, and he's like, please stop. And so, yeah, if I do give anybody any advice, just nod and smile, but don't ever take it.
Well, I want to flag a spoiler warning just for the end of the season, and hopefully anybody watching this interview has seen that already. Um, you said you got scripts one at a time. Did you know in terms of Maddie's investigation and who would ultimately, at least by this point, be shown to be guilty? Were you aware of that early on, and did that play into your performance?
None of us knew. And I'm so glad because you don't want it to play into your performance. Like nobody wants to see like the villain twirling their mustache, like it's like okay. You want to even if you are the bad guy never believes that they're the villain. They always have a reason and can justify their actions. And if I sat still long enough, I can recall moments in high school and in college where I probably said or did something I wasn't supposed to do. It doesn't impact me today the way that it did then. And so, even with the reveal of who did something as horrible as hiding the Well-Brexit documents that could have taken opioids off of the market, you lie to yourself long enough to where you can believe the truth and you can live a happy life. And that's exactly what he was doing, until somebody brings it back into the foreground and then you're hit with it, which I believe Jason Ritter did a fantastic job in delivering that scene and having to process all the realization of what he has done in real life up front of the one person he loved and trusted.
And what is it like for you to get to be mean to Kathy Bates on a regular basis?
On a regular basis. We had some really good times, didn't we, in season one? It wasn't so much. I never felt like I was playing mean to Kathy Bates ever. Even throughout the beginning of season one, there's a rank system here. Just because you're older and charmed the senior staff doesn't mean you just get my trust. You don't just earn your way into my heart. I'm doing a job. You need to do your job and you have to keep up. It's being direct. It's not so much being mean. But Olympia's not a people pleaser at all. When she comes into that office in that suit, in that glass box of an office, she knows that she's being watched. She knows that there is a glass ceiling. She is adamant on cracking, and you need to fall in line. David Del Rio, who plays Billy, is really great at doing just that. Leah Lewis, who plays Sarah, is just getting in her own way, wanting to achieve. But there is a certain order when it comes to being on Team Olympia. And Matlock was not getting any permission on skipping any of those stages, but I was never playing mean. And then even when I realized that she had been lying to me and conning me, I was hurt. I wasn't even, again, I just never thought I get to play mean. I get to play hurt. And what does that look like? How many different ways can I avoid that pain or present that pain?
I assume based on your script receiving for season one, you don't have much sense of what's ahead for season two.
No, oh God, no. Um, I put air tags in all of our writers' cars, and I hope that eventually I can, sneak up and pull a script out of the back seat. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. I could go to the writers' room as a DoorDash delivery guy, but I think that they'll probably catch me with that too. I'm trying to figure out other ways that I could potentially hack into Jenny Snyder Erman's phone and or iPad, but there hasn't been much progress with that either. I'm leading this mission. The rest of my cast is also extremely desperate and dying to know what happens in 201. I am usually not a safe space for secrets. And so holding the finale of Matlock season one to myself, not telling my husband or my family or the strangers that pull me on the street in Brooklyn, New York, because they are aggressive. Once we got past episode 7, no, actually, about after episode 10, 12, suddenly I was getting people coming up to me like in the streets of New York, like grabbing me, like, sis, please tell me it wasn't you. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to let me go. But it also became super fun watching how excited everybody was getting. But I don't feel like I can be trusted with knowing what's in 201 right now. And so I think it's best that we wait until a couple days before table read, which is what they usually do.
You have particular aspirations for what you'd like to see for Olympia if you were in charge?
I would love some like really cool guest stars. We had some incredible guest stars season one. My own personal belief is that a lot of people were just kind of like, really, they're doing Matlock, why are they doing Matlock, and like wasn't really interested. And then they saw what Matlock was able and capable of delivering, and we shook the audience. Now everybody's like, is there anything on Matlock? Like, is there, can I see maybe? So now I'm like, oh, now you want to see what's going on in Matlock world. Okay. And so I'm quite interested to see who wants to come play. I would love some really great defense attorneys. And Kathy Bates said that she wants Dolly Parton to play her friend Cindy Shapiro. That would be incredible. So yeah, I'm really excited about who's going to be joining our team. And I am excited to see what Olympia is going to do with Maddie and with Julian. I have no idea, but I have a guess. I have a guess that she's going to light Jacobson more on fire from the inside out. She's not going to let Julian go down by himself.
It'll certainly be interesting to watch, and I'm eager to hear your reaction since I'm sure it will be monumental based on what you're telling me.
Yeah, thank you.
When I watched the first episode of this show and I saw you in it, I knew that I recognized you from somewhere, but because of your hair color, it took me a minute because it was from To Live and Die and Live, which I
Oh
feel
my
like
gosh, you saw that?
the furthest thing from Matlock that there possibly could be, like a very intimate, mostly two-person wandering around drama, which it sounds like is coming out very soon.
Yeah, May 16th. It will be in theaters. And it was a smashing hit at Sundance 2023. And they just wanted to make sure it got into the right hands. And it finally did. And so I'm really nervous and excited about it coming out. But yeah, that character Asia was a completely different opportunity that I've ever had the joy of playing. And she was just she was chaotic symphony is what she felt like to me. And yeah, I look forward to receiving feedback because that's my receipts. I know a lot of actors that are like, I don't read critics or I don't read and I'm like, well, that's my receipts of my work is from the audience. And I don't personalize it. I learn from it. It's a teachable opportunity for me. So I hope that our film reaches the masses because it's a really beautiful story about a few people processing grief and pain and addiction and doubt and fears all at the same time, and leaning on each other to self-soothe with all the wrong options.
I definitely think it's a very extraordinary performance. I just do want to warn that is
Thank
as
you.
different from Matlock as anything possible. Someone goes to be like, let's watch while Matlock is on hiatus, let's watch this movie. That's the wrong approach. This is something completely different
Don't
in the
show
best.
your kids. Don't show your kids. Matlock is family friendly. Just, don't show your kids.
Well, you've hinted in our conversation a little bit at the answer to this question, which is what do you like to watch on TV recently?
Oh God. I am addicted to Love on the Spectrum. I'm obsessed with Tanner and Connor. They make me just cry all the time because I'm just so like, I'm so in love with the two of them, and my husband knows that I am. I hope to one day meet Connor or Tanner. They're just incredible, incredible human. I mean, all of them are, but like those are my sweethearts. And then I love The Pit. I worked 6 years in the hospital, and I bounced around when I was in the military. I bounced around in family practice, ER, pediatrics, labor and delivery. And so I'm very familiar with that environment. And I think The Pit really nailed the authenticity of a 12-hour shift, working in that type of environment with limited resources. And so those I would say are my two favorites. And I mean, there's so much. I watch so much television. It's unhinged. The Studio is hysterical if I just want to laugh. Seth Rogen, I will play a background actor of a film in your show. Like they really also have nailed the chaos of being an executive in this environment right now, and for a while actually. And so I would say, yeah, those are my top three right now.
Those are great choices. I really appreciate the opportunity to get to talk to you, and I'm excited to see, as I know you are, what's going to happen in first episode of season 2 and beyond.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.